This is so amazing. This is the best day of my month. For real.
So excited. I'm
not joking.
I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna
Happy Thursday, everybody. We are here. We are live, but it's like live on steroids, okay? Like it's on fire live. We are here with the most fabulous Cheldin Barlatt Rumer. She's one of my favorite people on earth. I am so excited for you to meet her. And Cheldin, we have really cool like community members and fans and followers, and they're gonna love you.
Hi guys, how are you? This is so much fun. I know I'm gonna do the swivel. I tried to get it straight on, but it's not.
No, it's perfect.
If the weave isn't straight in the back, the Instagram folks will tell me. It's not doing its thing, but that's okay. Hi guys.
Hi, Cheldin. Welcome to Kitchen Table Talks with Holly and Lauren.
I'm so excited.
This is going to be difficult for you because you're used to asking all the questions.
I know. I'm a little nervous, but I please, you know me.
No, you're not.
You know me. I'd love to talk.
You nervous?
I'd love to talk, but there's like serious questions. These are like serious questions.
Listen, I have two very serious questions off the bat.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask them and then I'm letting you go.
Okay.
Number one.
Yes.
What is your mission? But number two.
Yes.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Okay. One has absolutely nothing to do with the other.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing to do with the other.
That is why I started off that way, because I want everyone to know we are talking everything from serious entrepreneurship to, you know, the dirty details of your celeb crushes.
I absolutely love it. Okay, so I'll do the mission first. I have a digital TV network based on the East Coast, based in the Philadelphia, Southern New Jersey area. We connect remarkable women to inspiring stories. And so for me, our mission is Scream Your Dream. So I am not shy. I have 2 volumes. I have Silence and Cheldin. And Cheldin basically hovers around a scream. So the motto of our show is Scream Your Dream, because we really provide people with an opportunity to ensure that they no longer whisper their wishes, but they in fact scream their dreams. So that's really what I do, is provide a platform and really an outlet for people to tell their stories and have their stories be heard, so people can be entertained and engaged. And it's just a wonderful thing. And so as often as I can talk, I encourage other people to do the same. So that is my mission.
I love that so much. Amazing. You're so good at giving people the confidence and the comfort to
Thank you.
To talk, to feel, to scream their dream, but to really embrace their entrepreneurial spirit and all of that. You sure did for me when we first met, and since then, you always kind of pull out really good inspiration and thoughts, and you have such a great network of women and men, I'm sure. For sure. It's been such a blessing knowing you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And I think because I am naturally an extrovert, I assumed that the majority of people would be the same. But before we had launched the network, it was really, I had a digital agency and we did PR marketing events, and the majority of the clients that we had were women, and they would come to me in what I call a whisper. They would say, you know, hey, I have this t-shirt line, but I don't know if it's good, and I'm not really sure if you'd like it, and I don't really know if I should sell it, or how, do you think it's too expensive? I mean, all of the things, all of the negative talk that they would have would keep them from talking at all. But you would ask them how long they were doing it. They would say 5, 10 years. You'd ask them how much they've invested. They've remortgaged their house. And for somebody who is naturally an extrovert, I knew that I had to do something to help people find their marketing voice. I had to do something to make sure that they were heard and they were seen. And it's been a life's mission, and it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
A life's mission so much that you're now a professor?
I am, which is a piece of work in and of itself. So inherently, personal branding is something that I consider myself pretty abreast of. And I teach personal branding at Temple University in Philadelphia to undergraduates. So it's a journey. and in and of itself. And I've done so for 5 years, which is crazy. I teach 2 courses per semester for the last 5 years. And it's really about, again, teaching young people the importance of using their voice and the impact, good or bad, the consequence that comes with you sharing or oversharing whatever it is that you choose to believe. And you can believe whatever it is that you want, but understanding that it won't always be received the way in which you put it out into the world, or how it is received could change the world. So it's really about, you know, arming people with that knowledge and letting them know that their voice is a powerful thing.
I love that. I love that so much. You must be a fun professor.
I'm not normal. By any stretch of the imagination.
Why would you want to be?
It's not a structured course. The syllabus is loose. It is a loose syllabus, if anything. I really pride myself on being able to speak openly with them about really what their concerns are. I think in the art of personal branding, my definition of personal branding is what people say and think about you in your absence, right? So that's really what your personal brand is. What you put out into the world really affects the conversations that happen when you're not in the room. And that is when the decisions are being made. That's when your brand either makes you money or breaks your heart or everything in between. And so when you position it in that way, and it's not only, you know, result driven, but it's about you really focusing on who you are, I think beautiful things can happen. I think a lot of people shy away from who they are and really want to focus on what they do. But, you know, who you are will catapult you in what it is that you do. And I think that that's just what I'm celebrating right now. So.
All right. So we have one question slotted up because you still haven't answered who your celebrity crush is.
So my issue is, whoever knows me, hi guys, I like the like slightly awkward, nerdy kind of. So like that's my space. I don't know if it's because, you know, I'm loud and would prefer for them not to be, but I would, you know, I don't know if that's the scenario. They have to be funny. My husband is very, very funny. They have to be funny. So I'm obsessed. This is non-traditional. And people are like, she's got to like somebody like really hot, but I love Tom Hanks.
Oh, that's a great one.
So it ranges from Bradley Cooper to Tom Hanks, but I think that Bradley Cooper will be Tom Hanks. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just a mature, can really laugh, have a conversation, can wear a tux, but also wear some flip-flops. Like that's the kind of person.
Can dance on one of those large pianos.
Right, and just like playful but very talented. Does that make sense? It's not a stereotypical chiseled person.
I love that.
But I think because I don't think that lasts. That's a lot of maintenance.
Exactly.
A lot of maintenance. And
hang on one second. I just am hoping that Dustin can get on Facebook and make sure we're not missing any comments from anyone because I can't see them in my feed.
Okay, fair enough. Hi, guys.
Also, we're going to see this a bunch of times throughout our time together today, but where can people find you?
Oh, my goodness. So you can follow us and myself at This Is It TV. So there's a lot of I's there, but worth every one of them. So This Is It TV. And then you can log on to thisisItTV.com to check me out. And then there's a direct connection to me personally everywhere you find at Cheldin Barlatt. So yeah, for sure.
All right, now my second question, that's a fluff question, but I'm dying to know.
Okay.
What is your zodiac sign?
Oh, I'm a full Virgo.
Ooh!
Like I'm aggressive. I'm an aggressive person. You know what I mean? Like me and Beyonce, right, girl? Are fully, I'm a full Virgo. I'm an aggressive person, right? Like I think that everybody says I'm consistent with my sign. I can't claim to know of zodiacs and the astrology piece as much as I should, but they say, oh, I get it. Virgo. Every time.
Makes a lot of sense.
I'm a Virgo? Do I seem like a Virgo?
I was going to say possibly Leo, but it didn't feel right.
Okay. And Leo's a lion, right?
Mm-hmm. Leo, you know when they walk into a room.
Equally aggressive. Okay, fair enough. As long as it's not, I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. Yeah, I'm a Virgo for sure. September 3rd.
My daughter Lila is September 2nd.
Oh my God, we have to celebrate. Any other reason to celebrate with you guys, I will gladly be there.
Oh my gosh, joint birthday parties.
Oh my gosh, twist my arm. I'm there. I'm there for sure. I'm there.
So you played sports.
I did.
Hardcore.
I did. I was an athlete. There's a little bit of muscle memory, but not much. I was an athlete. I played Division I field hockey for all 4 years at LaSalle University in Philadelphia, and I ran track for 2 years. So I was a dual sport athlete for 2 years of my collegiate career, and then I just closed out with field hockey. So yeah.
Is there anything that you, and I'm sure there is, but so I should reframe that. What do you take from being a Division I athlete into your day-to-day life and your entrepreneurial endeavors?
Yeah. I was lucky enough to also be the captain my senior year. And I think that there is an interesting thing. I use a lot of sports analogies when it comes to being an entrepreneur. And I think the interesting thing about being a captain and also a boss is that most likely, especially in a small business scenario, you have to lead and play at the same time, right? So, captains have typically those bands on and they are playing and leading the team at the same time. And I think that there in and of itself becomes a talent. How do you balance the ability to communicate and encourage your team while you're also focused on what you have to do and how you have to contribute? It's different than being a coach that's on the sidelines. And I think that is what takes, I take every single day from my sports experience, every single day, the ability to work. I hope I'm still connected with all of you.
There you go.
Okay, good. The ability to work as hard as I instruct and work as hard as I lead and lead by example in that way and really just focus on the game in and of itself. The other thing about being an athlete is that you don't win all the time, but you still have to go to practice on Monday. So there's a piece of that affects it in that way for sure. I hope I can still connect with you guys. I see you guys on Instagram, but maybe not so on Facebook.
You're back in.
Okay, I'm back in. So that last piece on the Facebook folks, for those that are following, is we play pretty aggressively in whatever sport that you're in, but you don't always win. So even if you lose on Sunday, you still have to go to practice on Monday. And I think that that's one of the big lessons from being an athlete is that the season's not over just because you lost the game. And so it's really about focusing on building, what you need to do moving forward and learning from it and reviewing tape and, and then going back on the field. And that is something that, really has carried me through.
That's brilliant.
Oh,
I just took away so many little nuggets of positive inspiration. Just keep going and reanalyze and keep, you have to keep going.
Yes, for sure. We have no choice. We're a prisoner of this entrepreneurial thing. I have no choice, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So all you have to do is figure it out.
Being in that prison. How do you keep your positivity and energy up? There's got to be a low point, but it doesn't seem like you ever really hit a low.
Yeah, no, I do. There's some valleys to these hills, my people. There's some valleys to these hills. And even for somebody who speaks as much as I do, literally, and talks as much as I do, I have a morning practice, which I call my morning message every day. I do it on Facebook, but it's a selfish practice. I do it for my audience and for my community, but it's something that I literally practice. And often when you are in your darkest time, you can't find the words. So I really lean on the words of scholars and athletes and musicians and celebrities and historians and world leaders. So I really dive into quotes every morning. So I pick a quote every morning and then I reflect on it. So I say it out loud, I say it in my mind, and then I write some notes. And so it forces me to really hone in on something positive and really provides me a direction for the day, because sometimes my own words, either I can't come up with the words myself or, negative thoughts creep in, right? So I try to find positive quotes and the words of others to keep me motivated. So yeah.
I love that too. There's nothing you're going to say today that I'm like, whatever.
I love everyone. Hi, guys.
You're like my guru.
Oh, I love you. You're the best. You're so nice. You're so nice. This is so awesome. Hi, Dune family. You guys are so great. This is so fun.
They are great. And they should follow you at This Is It TV because those inspirational quotes in the morning, it's so important. You've got to start your day off positive, and usually it does help carry through the day.
For sure.
My little Lila's over here. I see her.
Hi, Lila.
She has the ear infection. So she's been, I know. So she's been up at night. Cheldin, you told me a story about your dad recently, and I can't remember all of the details. And I wonder if you remember. I'm trying to think. Do you remember which? It was about his advice to you and how he kind of raised you to really just push through.
About you're surrounded by the
is that that might have just resonated with me.
No, it's appropriate and it's not. So here's the gist of the story. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. I am a diverse person in and of itself. I celebrate diversity in every aspect of my life. I have beautiful biracial children. My husband is Caucasian. I celebrate the diversity and glorious nature of the United States of America that I love so much. And as an immigrant, so I was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa. My family is from West Africa. And my family is full of academics. So my father has a doctor of chemistry. My mother, they're both retired. My mother was a principal of an elementary school. And so they were very no nonsense on top of being African. West Africans don't mess around. You show up early, you leave late. You just don't mess around. So, but for me, I'd say all this to give context. So my mother would do our hair every Sunday in preparation for the week. And she was insistent that I had 6 braids. So everybody can envision a beautiful African-American young girl with 6 beautiful braids on her head. So my mother was very proud of her work. I wanted 2 pigtails like Emily, right? I did not want 6 pigtails. I didn't understand why she wouldn't listen to me as she was like yanking my head. And I was like, I just want 2. Needless to say, I lost the battle. I went to school and there was this one young gentleman, again, kids, say the darndest things, and was making fun of the 6 pigtails. I'd come home to my doctor of chemistry father from West Africa, crying about what had happened on the playground and trying to explain in that you can't get out the words because you're panting and all the grossness is
snot's coming down.
And he was, if you can envision the big vanilla computers and of the 1980s, and he's doing something that I'm
with the floppy disk.
He's saving the world.
Right. Yeah. Floppy disk, saving the world, grading papers, whatever. So, and I come running up to him as if, this is something for the UN, something that we stop. This young boy, Mark, is making fun of me. Help me. He looks down from the computer and says, we are outnumbered. We are outnumbered. You need to be able to deal with these things. We are outnumbered by the stupid, is what he said. He's like, this is foolishness. You're wasting your tears. You're wasting your tears on something that is irrelevant. And looked back at his computer. Now, as a 6-year-old, I'm like, he doesn't understand. Right? But as an adult, I reflect on that for him to simply say, focus on the things that matter. Focus on the feedback that will serve you. This is irrelevant in the scheme of probably what he was doing on his computer, but definitely irrelevant of the scheme of what you need to put your energy towards, right? In all of your day, you're not coming to me to talk about your schoolwork. You're not coming to me to talk about the friends that you do have. You're coming to me to talk about this one incident that happened at recess that is so small. And it has always been something that has carried me. We are outnumbered by people that don't understand you, that won't buy your product, that won't necessarily follow, or fan you on social media. But if you are focused on there, if you send your tears in that direction, then you're misdirected. And so that I think that was the story.
I have goosebumps. For me, it's a pivotal moment, right? You're always going to remember it, but it it shaped you to be this confident, it hit you so hard that you're like, oh yeah, like he's right. And it just, I don't know. I think about it all the time. And I think about it when I'm raising my children. How do I have those moments with my kids that might be awful at the time, but really click and make the future what it should be. So I just think it's brilliant. And I wish I could meet your dad.
Oh, he's amazing. He's the same. Very rational. What's happening? Like, here's the X amount for the grandkids. Like, what are you doing with it? Does he need the truck? Does he not? I mean, very, very rational. And my daughter, who's 9, I have a 3-year-old son and I have a 9-year-old daughter. And
they're
Sydney
beautiful.
Thank you very much. And Sydney's not appreciating my words of wisdom and my rationale.
No, not at all.
No, but neither did I. So I'm hoping that it is something that will transcend, and she'll be like, well, my mother said to be rational, over the ice cream versus the popsicle. This is an irrational thing.
You learned so much from your parents.
Yes, for sure.
Is there anything that you've learned as a parent that you've brought over into your work, or something you've learned from your work that you've brought over into being a parent? Like, overlapping life lessons?
For sure. Priorities and patience. I think that's it. I think that you really struggle as an entrepreneur to be 100% of everything 100% of the time. And I think that that's not a realistic benchmark. There's disappointment and frustration in that. And when you are disappointed and frustrated, you're not moving forward. You tend to be paralyzed by all of that emotion. But if you adjust your standards for yourself, not to cut yourself short, but so you can actually move forward. If you say, this is realistic for me, like I used to create a to-do list and it was 150. I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, it was like, Sydney's 9, it would be like pay her college tuition. Like, it was like ridiculous. It was things that I knew I would never get to, right? Things I knew I could never accomplish. But because I'm still a writer, I write notes. I don't know how many people you still take notes, right? I like to write things down, and I would do this practice of like writing all of these things down, and then my head would hit the pillow at night, and I'd be disappointed. I would get only 10 of the 50 things done, and I would be I'd be devastated that my day wasn't.
You're beating yourself up about it. Why did I only get this certain amount done?
Yes, the day isn't done. I didn't do this. So now I just create a today list versus a to-do list. And it's shorter and it's manageable and it's something I celebrate, because I'm setting myself up to live the life that I want, as opposed to setting myself up to disappoint myself. And, that's from parenting. That's from understanding that there's only so many hours in the day, even if we try to get 2 additional ones. There's only so much of one person to give in any given situation. So being patient, setting boundaries, and really looking to be productive. So
that's brilliant. We should all remember that a today list, not a to-do list.
Yes.
All of us.
Love that.
Yes.
I said to Lauren coming into this, I said, let's make sure we call out all the little nuggets of goodness that is going to come, because it's gonna come. Like,
thank you.
Those little things to take away from watching today. Make a today list. I made a today list on Monday and I crushed it, and I felt so good. I was breathing.
Right. And then you eat dinner.
Then it all kind of
right. And then it all kind of goes. But the thing about that, there's the next day, right? So all of those things keep happening, but at least you get to eat dinner in peace. You get to move forward and go to bed with some sense of like closure. Like, I was able to do, right. Because that self-doubt, like, we will beat ourselves up. And so there's enough out there against all of us in whatever situation. There's enough out there. The last thing you want to do is fuel all of the negativity that you have inside of you. So that's
the one thing that I love, and I've heard many people say it, is like when you're speaking to yourself, would you speak to a friend the way you 100%. Speak to yourself?
100%. 100%.
And oftentimes I reflect, I'm like, no, I would never speak to a friend the way I'm 100%. Talking to myself.
I wouldn't have any friends if I talked to myself. Talk to them the way I talk to myself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You may be buffering a little on Instagram.
Hang on one sec. We're just fixing up Instagram here.
There we go. I think we're getting better.
Yeah.
There we go. No, but I think that, I think that the quote was, talk to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love,
Yes.
And I think that we don't do that. We put a lot of judgment and a lot of, and as an entrepreneur, I forget I'm the one who makes the deadlines, right?
Right. You're the boss. You're
right.
You're it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're stressing about all these things. And my 9-year-old was like, aren't you the boss? Like, can't you take off? And
my kids say that to me. I'm like, so funny that you just said that.
I'm like,
they say it to me all the time.
Right. And so it's just, not that we can do that all the time, but it's just kind of remembering that from time to time to give us that balance and prioritize what we need to.
I love that. I'm just going to ask Dustin, are there any comments or questions?
Lots of love for the positivity. This
good.
I've got, you are amazing, Cheldin. I love your positive energy. Wow, this is amazing. I'm loving this live. Amazing positive words.
Oh my God, Dustin, call me every morning. Dustin, can you do that for me? All right, fair enough. I was going to put Dustin on my alarm.
Yeah.
You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're positive.
That lovely voice just speaking positivity to you. I like that idea.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, he calls me all the time when I'm like, or I call him all the time and I'm like, I just need you to tell me that I'm wrong.
Right. Tell me that I'm wrong. You guys are awesome. This is super fun.
So I know you have a few fun questions.
I have so many questions.
Oh, that's so fun.
The first one that's really been gnawing at me, especially since you're like morning motivation, you pull quotes from people.
Yeah.
You're so inspiring yourself. Is there someone in your universe where you're like, oh, I really need a good quote. I know this person's going to have one for me. Is there like a number one guru for you?
A favorite?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple, and they're a little obvious, but I love them. There's my good old Oprah, who she doesn't know me yet, but I think we're gonna be friends eventually. She doesn't know it, but
I believe it.
She's waiting for me. And then she is.
What's Gail gonna think?
Right, I don't know. Gail will be fine. Gail can come. Gail will be fine. We will all figure it out. And, a fly on the wall with those two would be amazing. There's a lot of, so I love communicators. I love Barbara Walters, and I love media women in such a way. And even on the non-traditional side, I love Martha Stewart, and I love self-made branded women. Obviously there's Michelle Obama. I love women that really have told their story in their respective genre of things, and they have kind of paved their own way for what it is that they are doing. And Serena Williams, and just a number of different people in general. But then I also, I grew up on talk shows. So I grew up in a time period where you would tune into these talk shows and there'd be a problem, and then there'd be an expert that would come on, and there'd be a conclusion. Yeah. And there was, I was talking to
Sally Jesse.
I was about with the glass upset. So it was in my house. It was Sally Jesse, Donahue. I don't know if you guys remember Donahue.
I remember Donahue.
Sally Jesse, Donahue, Oprah Winfrey. I mean, Geraldo had a show. Montel had a show. Like all these people.
Yes.
And this is why I am so excited about the This Is It Network, because I think that that's what's missing. I think that that is truly what is missing in our society right now, because it was an education for these shows were educations for people who would otherwise not be educated by anything else, right? These were
so true.
Various topics.
That's a really good point.
Right? That had an expert that was in conjunction with them. It had real people with real issues and an expert that would help solve them. And it was packaged in a beautiful way. And there was all these diverse guests and hosts, and it was a beautiful thing. And that talk, what I consider educational entertainment, was replaced with reality television. And so the aspiration of education was gone. Like learning something new was gone. Oprah coming on at 4 and teaching you about everything from race relations to how to be fit to, you know, the struggles of the disabled. All of that was an opportunity to have, you know, to be educated in your home. And I think that is truly my goal right now. And so is to bring that to as many people as possible. So it's a comfortable space for you to learn in the comfort of your own home, you know, so you can have intelligent conversations when you leave. And
yeah. You know, and it doesn't have to be super serious. I mean, especially like with your personality.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll watch you all day.
Oh, thank you. I love you. I absolutely love you. And I think that's how you learn stuff, right? Like and there used to be that culture, God bless Oprah. There used to be that culture, like, oh, I saw it on Oprah. Like, oh, I learned that. Yeah. And then men would even be like, oh, would you get that from Oprah? Like, because it was an educational space, you know, for you to like really dive into something you would otherwise not know. And so people like Brene Brown and, you know, even though she's going through stuff, Rachel Hollis and Marie Forleo and Mel Robbins, these are women that are using their voice in a very specific way to help people. And they're not always right. And they don't always have all the answers, but they're using their voice to help as many people as possible. And that's who I call upon.
And how do people watch you and your beautiful, educational, positive voice and message?
I love it. Please do. Stalk me freely. You can find me at thisisitTV.com with all our information about our shows. And we're actually, you know, creating a portal with all of our videos. So stay tuned for all of that, which will be super, super fun. We have 29 instructors that will be teaching educational programming and getting people super excited. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And then you can follow us everywhere you find at This Is It TV. I even TikToking, which is like a whole journey in and of
No,
itself.
You're not.
Yes, I am.
Are you?
Yes, there's a lot of us on there.
Where's my phone?
I'm TikTok, but again, I'm not dancing so much as I am the motivational morning message, but it is fun. I lose myself in some TikToks, over 30, over 40 TikToks.
Oh my God, I can't wait to check those out.
You have to. It's super fun. It's super, super fun. But I love you guys. Obviously, I love my Dune. I love every single piece. I'm obsessed.
But we're not ready to let you go yet. We have
Oh, good. Oh, please. I thought you were closing out.
I like to throw out the This Is It TV a few times during in case people are only catching
a few
minutes.
I love this. Thank you so much. Follow us at thisisitTV.com. Love, love, love.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Okay, another softball.
Plus. This is fun. Yes.
Do you have something you do in your self-care routine that's a guilty pleasure or, you know, kind of embarrassing?
It's not embarrassing necessarily, but I am guilty. I am completely unbelievable. I love my hair and I buy it to put it on my head. That's the truth. And I'm unapologetic. I am unapologetic. Right. I'm
unbelievable is a nugget. You're right. 100%. Oh my God, the nuggets.
I am unapologetic about it. I am not mature enough to do my own hair. It's a misconceived notion that having natural hair is easier. It's not. There's a product and I'm just lazy. I'm a lazy, I'd rather pay somebody to cornrow my hair and sew it on and send me on my way than so that's my thing. And after I gave birth to my son, like he took all of like my hair, like everything, like my hair on my head is still there.
That happens.
Like my eyebrows were gone. Thank God. The twins are coming back in some way, shape, or form. These lashes I put on every day like a savage. I'm unapologetic about. I miss my nails. It's a whole thing, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I mean, there's some things that are natural and some things are not, and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. Yes. That is the truth. I love that. Is there one thing that you've taken away from COVID that's positive? I mean, there might be multiple positive things, but do you have one positive for us? Whoops, hold on. We lost you there for a sec. Sorry about that.
Guys, no worries. It's
probably there we go. We're good.
My end too. I call it BQ and AQ. So I call it before quarantine and after quarantine. So I'm going to be better. I'm committed to being better AQ than I was BQ. and just making sure that I have, you know, a lot of things in play. I mean, I think all of us are aware of this world and what's happening in a lot of different ways, whether it's COVID or, you know, racial unrest that's happening right now and the hard conversations that we're having. In both categories, COVID has taught me what I need, right? Like I was living an excessive life. I was traveling. My home is in New Jersey. I had a full studio in Philadelphia. I was going back and forth over the bridge, paying tolls, $20 a day to park, realizing that I could connect with the world via Zoom, right? As opposed, do I need that space? Do I need, you know, to be, you know, really handcuffed to something literal, or could I do what I do without it? So it really made me realize what I needed in life. And again, to prioritize family and spending more time with my children and all of those things. So COVID gave me that. And then, you know, the racial unrest and the madness that has really been happening really made me evaluate, especially a diverse woman like myself, you know, what I was willing to tolerate and my ability to be part of conversations that I would otherwise shy away from, right? I share joy intentionally, and I try to stay away from hard-hitting scenarios and politics. And then I realized that my voice could be used as a bridge to be able to allow for people to have conversations in a comfortable space and allow for people to get the answers that they need so they can be better people. And so I've really decided, you know, based on COVID, it was, you know, Cheldin, what do you really need? What are your priorities? And based on what's going on, you know, with the racial unrest is really about, you know, how can I use my voice to make this world, you know, and this country a better place. So, yeah.
I want to wrap you up in a big hug right now.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. I love this. I mean, I'm scared I'm going to be addicted to hanging out with you guys every day.
That's okay. We're fine with that.
Guys, I know. This is so fun. This is so fun.
What do you think? One more question?
Hold on. Let me just make sure I don't have. Okay.
Yeah.
I got all the hard hitting ones out.
Okay.
There's one more hard hitting one.
Okay.
It's not really that hard.
Holly and Lauren hard.
I know.
So
it's okay.
You're this confident woman, you're D1, you're captain of your team. Was there a light bulb moment where you're like, I got this, I need to help other people get it?
Yeah. It was a combination of it was a combination of a lot of different moments. I was going through my life, and this business has been a journey for me, right? A prisoner of it, but not necessarily monetizing it as much as I should have. And I'm called to do this, but it's not necessarily as fruitful as I'd like for it to be. I'm not necessarily, you know, I can't equate it to a director of marketing job I could otherwise have somewhere else. And I was really having a rough time. I can comfortably say between my two children, I had lost a child in between. And there was all of this valley. There was this very much like, oh, I have these wants, and things aren't lining up. And I was driving to a client, and again, in the New Jersey area, I was driving down to Atlantic City, New Jersey, if anybody's familiar with that space. I was driving down to the client, and it was early in the morning. And I said, and I spent the majority of the night why me, right? Like, why me? Why me? Why is this happening? I'm skilled. I'm talented. I don't understand. You know, I have this skill set. I make people feel a certain type of way. Why is this so hard? Why is this so hard? And I'm driving, I'm gripping, and literally it was just a light bulb moment. And I mean, it's not a sexy moment. It was driving on 42 in New Jersey, but it was very much, you know, just one of those things where it was like, this is why. Like, how can you help others if you've never suffered? How can you empathize with someone who's confused if you have never been confused? How can you walk somebody through what they need to do if you have always had everything? You know, and between that portion of my life, I am blessed. You know, I am privileged within a lack of privilege even in this country. I come from two educated scholars and surrounded by scholars and fortunate in this space. And so I recognize that as to who I am. But this hardship that I was going through in my business and determining who I was going to be and what my business was going to look like was so painful. And then the loss of a child was so painful. You know, I questioned, you know, why is this happening? And I know now that all of that hardship and the continued hardship that I'm sure will follow and other things that will happen to me in life, so I can be better for those that follow, fan, and like me. So that's my scenario.
God, I didn't think I was going to need tissues today.
She's very emotional today.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Well, you can cry with me whenever you'd like, beautiful. Whatever you'd like. Whatever you'd like. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Dune? Is that your favorite Dune piece you have on? And if so, what sand is in it?
Oh my goodness, what is this one? Is this Outer Banks? I think that this one.
Yes. Yeah, probably.
So Outer Banks for me was a really great trip. I have friends from home. You know, everybody has segmented friends, right? You have your college friends, you have your friends from home. So my friends from home all had young children at the same time. We all had kind of children at the same time. And we decided to take, I think it was 5 families to the Outer Banks with all of our children. And it was very much, and the first and last time we had done it. So it was very much one of those things where it was kind of the transcend, you know, the next transition. You know, these are girls that I was friends with at 5 when I had the 6 pigtails, right? These were these friends, right? And now they have children, and now my children, you know, it's Aunt Shannon and Aunt Lauren, and it was just a really beautiful time. And to carry that around, I think is important, and being grounded in where you come from, even though you're moving so quickly. So it was a wonderful thing. And then there's also a difference. What I love about Dune is that you can celebrate your trips versus your vacation, because I think that there's a difference between a trip and a vacation, right? Like a trip, you're making your own bed and cooking your own food. That's a trip.
Yeah.
A vacation is my bed is made and somebody brings me a margarita I didn't have to make myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's the, you know, thing.
Margarita, your cocktail of choice? Tell us your cocktail of choice.
So I tend to not cocktail as much as I drink wine. It's a Pinot Grigio is my problem.
Yeah.
And it is a problem. And Sydney's aware of it. You know, mommy needs her juice. But I think that it's like mommy's drinking her juice. It's a problem. And I put ice in it because it makes it go down easier. It's a problem. I do like ice and Pinot Grigio. Like friends that are serious drinkers are disappointed often by the watered down beverage that I drink.
I'm kind of a snob, former bartender.
I know.
You know, something hits different on like a hot summer day. Just throw a couple cubes in that wine glass. I'm there for it.
Please. And sometimes, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, it's not cold enough. You know, I mean, I like things cold. I'm a very strange person with my foods as well and my drinks as well. If it's supposed to be hot, it has to be hot. And if it's supposed to be cold, it has to be cold. I'm very like in that space. So chilled is not a thing for me. It just needs to be cold.
Oh my God, I love you.
Yeah, that's
I can't love you anymore.
So ice cubes it is. Ice cubes and Pinot Grigio is what it is, for sure.
Well, I mean, we'll end on that, right? I mean, we always end on
cheers, right?
We're always talking about cocktails or randomly birds lately. We've been talking about because
I love that.
because you're like because there's so much news. We're always looking for positive news, and when we sit here and talk and to each other and our community, and for whatever reason, it's always like a seagull got saved on Cape Cod, and there was a peacock roaming through the neighborhood in Colorado. So anyway, we'll have to end on the cocktail and the wine. And
well, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Tell us one more time where everyone can fan, follow, like you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm Cheldin Barlatt Rumer. I'm CEO and executive producer of This Is It Network. You can follow, fan, and like us everywhere you find at This Is It TV, and log on to thisisItTV.com for all our recent episodes and information.
Love you, Cheldin.
Love you. I'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Wait, I got it. Yep. And but don't move past that screen.